So tomorrow is Passover. And yesterday I went to get all the components needed to do a Passover meal. My original thought was that this year, instead of going to service somewhere, that I would have an intimate service at home and invite people that had never experienced Passover. And even though I don't really know exactly how to teach it the way I would, like if I'm going to teach something, I like to feel comfortable in the material. So this will be a new experience for me, being the one that leads the Seder meal. With the new quarantine thing happening, the people that will be in attendance for Passover in my home will be the children and my mother. And my mother's never attended a Seder meal before, so it's going to be unique and it's going to be fun. So yesterday I'm at Walmart and I'm buying groceries also, and then getting the items for the Seder meal. And I was like, God, I gotta have this, and I gotta have a plate for every kid at the table, and da da da. And then the Lord He does these wonderful things where He just takes this big thing and He makes it small again. Because the essence of Passover is to get across the concepts of God to the children. That there will be times in our life that there are bitter things that happen to us, and things that we don't necessarily like the taste of them. We don't like that that's part of our plate in life. Then there's going to be wonderful things that are so savory and sweet. We want to stay in that area. We want nothing but dessert. So it's going to be, I'm trusting God to do it and just use me as a vessel, because more than anything I want to teach these children about who He is. And so the Passover for me is not just keeping a requirement. It's more of an intimate teaching of me, to me, who God is, and these things that happen in life. We're going to have some bitter things that happen that leave a bad taste in our mouths. And how do we respond to those? The Feast of Unleavened Bread also begins on the day of Passover. So today is the day before Passover. Today is the day of spring cleaning. It's where you would go through your house and get out all the products that would have leaven in them, which this day and time requires us to read ingredient labels. And it's kind of interesting because the first time I did this feast, not knowing how, I just was like, Lord, I don't know how to do this thing, but I want to. But if there's something fascinating about you that I learned through participating in this feast, I want to do that. And as I was going through the items in my refrigerator and in my cabinet and in my freezer, and I was separating them, and I was looking at ingredients labels, the Lord just gave me this beautiful revelation about me. And He's like, see, Heather, this feast is not for any other purpose than for me and you to get more acquainted with one another. Like, He knows me, but me not knowing me is a problem. See this, when you read this label and you are surprised that it has some leaven in it, it's like you do a personal inventory of yourself and be surprised that there's still some leaven in you that I just want to work out. I want to remove that thing. There's some festering of an old wound in you, and it causes pain. And I just want to make you realize that that wound right there, baby girl. I want to heal that thing. Like you've covered it up for so many years that you don't even see that thing as a problem. And you've run from some stuff for so long that you're not seeing those things as something that is keeping you from the fulfillment that I have for you. The Feast of Unleavened Bread for me, like in the natural, is like spring cleaning. And I believe that's where we get spring cleaning from. But in the spiritual, where I'm doing something in the natural, like picking up the item and looking at the ingredients label, as I'm doing that for this bottle, trying to be obedient to the Feast of Unleavened Bread, He's doing that in the spiritual. He's helping me take a greater look at me so that, like the leaven in my home can be removed, He can remove some things in me that bring more freedom. And where that empty spot in my cabinet is, He can fill it again. But where that thing's been removed in me, I can expect that He will fill that space also. So it's an opportunity to receive more of an intimate relationship with God. It's an opportunity to take a closer look, take an inventory of self in a beautiful way, not in a you don't get the leaven and say, "Dadgum, you leaven." You just recognize the leaven in the ingredients and you get it out of the way. He's a good Father. He's a good God. And He's got some good things that He's going to do. I'll keep you posted on the Seder meal tomorrow. But today, I'll spend going through my kitchen, going through some things and just asking Him to point out some stuff in me, in this closet, that needs some sweeping.